Hey everyone, welcome to this first taste of Python. In today's tutorial, we will walk through the official W3Schools Introduction to Python page, breaking down every concept, explaining why it matters, and going through all the coding examples to understand how it works. Ready? So let's go. So if you are not already familiar, W3Schools is an amazing website. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not officially being sponsored, nor is it an official W3Schools tutorial. I just like to use this website as a reference, as since when we teach, you guys also need some reference material to go to. So I thought it would be nice to use this website, which you can easily access freely, and then you can follow along. So let's begin. We will be using W3Schools, and I will try to cover entire course as much as I can using the Pythons. Okay. So what exactly is Python? Python is a popular programming language. It was created by Judio Van Razan in 1991. Okay, it is used for web development, server-side programming, software development, mathematics, system scripting, and so on and so forth. Basically, Python is your all-rounder. Building websites, crunching numbers, automating tasks, AI applications, everything nowadays. Whatever you need, Python is there for you. So it's an absolute mandatory to learn Python. Okay, what can Python do? Well, as per the W3Schools, and again there are a huge things that Python can do, not only what limited here. So W3Schools has few points mentioned here, but actually the real what we call say the market or the capabilities of Python nowadays is endless. It depends on what you want to do, from automating every single task to designing tasks to AI. Everything is Python is being used. So what exactly it can do? Python can be used on a server side to create web applications. Okay, for example, you might have heard of Django or Flask. They are built on Python. It can be used alongside softwares to create workflows. For example, think of automation or scripting inside other applications. Pythons can connect to database systems and also read or modify files. For example, database queries, IO openings, reading files, reading and writing files on your disks or on your servers. Python can do that. Okay. Then Python handles big data and perform complex mathematical operations. While with, for example, libraries like NumPy, you can do heavy lifting in data analysis. Rapid prototyping of full scale production ready code. Start with a quick idea, test it fast, and then scale it as needed. That's all you can do with Python, and many other things as well. So don't think that that's limited to that point only. Then why Python? Well, it's just self-explanatory, right? But the key thing that you have to understand is that Python works on different platforms like Windows, Macs, Linux. Every platform technically can now support Python. Okay, and Python has a very simplex, similar syntax. Okay, it's similar to English, so it's very easy to learn and follow. Python has a syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. So basically, it shortens your code as well. It believes in what we call the shortest first approach. And so it writes the minimalistic approach. It follows the minimalistic approach so that you need to write as little as possible to do a larger amount of tasks. And that's where Java and Python comes into quite differentiating factor. To do something in Java, you might need to write a couple of lines, 5, 6 lines. The same thing can be done in just 1 or 2 lines within Python. And we will try to see a few examples along the way. Python can be treated as a procedural way and an object-oriented way or a functional way, right? So now here are three things. You can use Python in a procedural way or an object-oriented way or in a functional way. We'll try to explore initially the procedural way. The most of the examples do follow with that. Then the object-oriented way are again used inside the later on sections. So do follow along that as well. So if you follow along, I will be creating these tutorials as well. Object-oriented or a functional way where we create functions to do every single thing. Okay. So that's what Python is. So if you understand this, the key points again are that why we need Python, because it is cross platform. It has a very simple English like syntax. It uses fewer lines of code, interpreter based system, so it's very easy. And then it has a multiple paradigms, means you can code in procedural style, object oriented style, or functional style if you like. Okay, so what other things are important? What are the good to know things are there? So the good to know things are that if you are proceeding, the most recent version of Python is Python 3. Just keep that in mind. which we will be using in this tutorial. So the W3 Schools tutorial is basically based on Python 3. We will be using those examples later on. Okay. So in this tutorial, Python will be written inside the text as an editor. It is possible to write Python in an integrated development environment such as Sony, PyCharm, NetBeans, or Eclipse, or in VS Code, whatever you like. Okay. But W3 Schools has a magnificent built-in text editor that we use, and then we can test out any examples for that matter. Okay, so just keep this thing in mind. Finally, Python syntax as compared to others, we will be delving into syntax later on in the syntax section as well. So that just sums up the basic introduction of Python. So let's very quickly get started with it. So if you come to the next page, so in getting started, basically W3 Schools lets you know how you can install Python. Okay, the quickest way is basically first you need to go onto the python.org website and make sure you download the relevant Python library files. Okay, I have already a video on it. I will leave the description on how you can configure VS Code to run Python code. Okay, so how you can install Python inside VS Code, what extensions you need, and how you can configure that to do the whole coding with yourself. So I already have this tutorial. I will leave the link in the description. Please do check that out, and hopefully it should be quite easy and simple to follow. Most probably, because we're going to use W3 Schools website, we will be using W3 Schools own editor, which is again very awesome. So if you click on try it yourself, it will open up and it will give us the editor where we can easily check the code ourselves and try it out. Okay, so the Python version, as we have said, it is basically currently Python 3 version. W3 Schools is going to use that. You can check the version yourself as well by importing system and using the print.system version. It will tell you which version of the Python you are using. If you're downloading the latest version, you should have the latest version from here. You don't need to worry about anything else. But just in case if you're using an older version, you can do that. Do keep in mind you can use Python from the command line as well, whether you're using Windows or Mac. If your Python is installed properly and environment variables are there, you should be using your command prompt to do that as well. But I believe if you are following me, the VS Code is one of the best editors nowadays. It's a multi all-in-one system. You can easily code any language here, and then so that's why we'll be using Python within VS Code, and I will be going through most of these examples anyway. Okay, so that should cover the basics of what Python is, how we're going to do it, what editor we're going to use in this particular course. Next, we're going to talk about something called Python syntax, and we're going to cover all these major concepts. So do follow along, stick with me, and if you still haven't subscribed, please do subscribe because you're going to get some amazing tutorials on the way.